with that, let's go on to the next puzzle, a poem for Hannah. This was a puzzle that was successfully solved by 1,342 teams. And what you were presented with at first was just a poem. And this is really all the information that was given to you, aside from that title, a poem for Hannah. And that name, Hannah, is important. We might come back to that in just a moment. And at first, it might not be immediately clear what you would do with this particular poem. But what you'll notice is that there are certain patterns and certain lines within this poem. If you look at the very first line of the poem, for example, evil sin is alive, and look at the letters in that line, evil sin is alive, you'll notice that it's almost a palindrome, where a palindrome is just some sequence of letters that is the same both forwards and backwards. It's not quite a palindrome, though, because it's missing one letter, and the letter it's missing is the letter A. If we were to insert that letter A into the palindrome, then it does work out so that it's the same both forwards and backwards. So this is what we might consider to be an almost palindrome. And you might have included into the idea that this puzzle was about palindromes because the name Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H, is itself a palindrome. It's the same both forwards and backwards. And so A was the missing letter from this almost palindrome. And it turns out there are 10 other almost palindromes weaved throughout this poem. And the trick to this puzzle was starting to look for those other almost palindromes. So here, no, tie, ton, also an almost palindrome. It's just missing the letter I in order to be the complete palindrome. So the letter I would correspond to there. And if you take each of the rest of the palindromes, here's one where the missing letter is a B. Here's another one where the missing letter is an O. And if we keep doing this, here's an H, a P, another H, an O, another B, another I, and then one more A. Those are all of the almost palindromes that you might find inside of this poem, each of which has a single missing letter. And if you take all of those letters in order and see what word they make, they end up making the solution to this puzzle, which is ibophobia, the fear of palindromes. And that is the correct answer to a poem from Hannah.